Hello, Bronco fans. Welcome to another edition of Diving into Delhi. I am Daniel Graham, and I am joined today by our special guest, Mr. Seth Bywater. Hi, Seth. How are you doing today?
Doing well. How are you?
Doing excellent. We got a lot to talk about, especially in your case. Seth Bywater is on the cross country team and just accomplished a phenomenal feat, the first in SUNY Delhi history, of qualifying for NCAA Division III Nationals. He is set to take the course this Saturday in Louisville, Kentucky. So, Seth, why don't you just walk us through what the season's been like for you, kind of coming out of the interesting case that was last season, and coming into this year with some new coaches and being the forefront of the program and just what this season's meant to you.
So last year season wasn't really a season. We had a couple meets with two or three schools, but we couldn't even really have team practices with more than a couple people. So definitely lost a little time there, and there was some uncertainty over the summer because Rob Monroe, who was our coach, got promoted to associate AD, and then for a little bit we didn't know who our coach would be. And then right before the year started, we found out that Zach Brown was going to be our coach, and that we were going to have an assistant coach and Ben Finnegan, and both of them have been great. So right from the get-go at the start of the season in the fall, we got right to business, and this season has been definitely more stable. Like in the past, we've had I've gotten injured over the past couple of years, and we pretty much lost all of last year. But this year has been really steady, and we've just been hitting every meet and done pretty well. And yeah, I honestly couldn't have asked for a better season. Yeah.
Great. So, just walk us through a couple of your meets during this year. You had the opportunity when you ran at regionals at SUNY Geneseo last week. You had that opportunity to preview the course during the regular season. So why don't we just talk about or just help us through, what kind of once you got a lay of the land of the course, and then from that time on, we're going to conference championships, and then making that return trip and posting the time that you did.
Yeah. So we went back in early October, I think it was. We went to Geneseo for pre-AG regionals. First of all, the weather was very different. Then it was like 70s, hot, and then at regionals it turned out to be we were getting those sprinklings of hail at some points. So seeing the course beforehand was definitely nice, especially since it's different from last year. And the last time we went out, I think I got 30th or 40th. And I had run about 30 seconds slower than I did end up running at regionals. And as soon as I finished that race, pre-regionals, I was like, man, I could definitely go faster. It was our first 8K of the year, and I was honestly pretty nervous because it was my in 2 years. So I was nervous going into it. I was like, how is this going to go? And I was unsure. And then, oh man, that felt really good. I could definitely go faster. Regionals is going to be great. And then that's sort of what I did. I just went out with the front, stuck with them because I knew all I had to do was just get out with the group, and let them carry me along. And that's what I did. I didn't let the weather get to me very much, even though it was muddy and cold. I think that was actually to my advantage because we've definitely practiced in weather like that before, so it wasn't new to me. And yeah, I just kept a level head the whole race. Ran pretty even. Going through 5K, I was only 10 seconds faster than I ran at pre-regionals, but then I ended up running about 30 seconds faster than I did over the course of the whole 8K. So yeah, really happy with how I did.
Great. So, when you went to the North Atlantic Conference Championships, obviously it was your first North Atlantic Conference Championship. You were part of the team 2 years prior that had won it all. But this was your first time really going to represent the Broncos at the conference championships. Was there anything that you took from that race, obviously finishing silver and finishing second? Was there anything that kind of kickstarted your motor about, I could take this to the next level going to regionals?
Yeah, I definitely think during conference I was too conservative. I was planning on the Kobelsko kids being a little farther ahead of me. And so one of them went and I kind of let him go. And also the course it's a very, the course there is very narrow and it's very hilly and you have lines up there in Maine and it's very technical. So I thought there wouldn't be much passing going on in this course, and I thought I wouldn't be able to make up much ground. But then I thought two couple school kids were going to be in front of me, and there was only one ahead of me, and even that guy I finished closer than I thought I would have. Um, and after that, I was like, man, why didn't I just go with him? I think I could have gotten him, and so that kind of got me fired up. And then at regionals, I was thinking about that before the race, and I think I beat both of them by a good margin. So yeah, that definitely got me going.
Now, talk about kind of the student portion of the student athlete of you here at SUNY Delhi. You're a mechatronics major, a very challenging program. You had several choices of colleges to choose from. So why don't you walk us through when you were in high school back at Cornwall and you knew you had something special when it came to distance running and cross country. What was it about SUNY Delhi, the blend of competing in cross country and track, and also balancing being a mechatronics major at the Division III level? What really appealed to you about Delhi more than anything else?
Yeah, so my story with Delhi started when I went to this running camp over the summer. I think this was over the summer going into might have even been going into my sophomore year, and then going into my junior. I mean, I went every year, every summer, but it's aim high running camp, and Coach Monroe goes every year and he gives a talk, and it's a really great talk. You should ask him about it, especially for high schoolers. And he pretty much convinced me just to come and visit during my junior year of high school. This was, and at the time I thought I wanted to do architecture as a major. And so when I came up, Coach Monroe set up a visit for me with the architecture program, and then also with the mechatronics program. And it was on this trip that I decided I didn't want to do architecture because they were like, yeah, the labs are open 24/7. And I was like, I don't want to be here down here 24/7. So I figured that wasn't for me. But the mechatronics program, which I wasn't really interested in beforehand, I went to visit them. And I was like, oh, wow, looks really cool. You guys are doing some cool stuff here. And so the thing that drew me to Delhi on that visit and since then is just that you're not talking about doing things, you're actually doing things. I definitely get to get hands on. Like just before this, I was in the hydraulics lab building a bunch of circuits, and you get to walk the walk as much as you talk the talk. You get to see the fruits of your labors. You actually get to build things, and I think that's something that was missing from a lot of other programs I was looking at. So definitely academics was a big draw for me at the program. But then also Coach Monroe is just a super great guy. That was definitely a guy who I thought I wanted to have coaching me in college. Yeah. And then, I mean, he's not a coach anymore, but the coaches we have now definitely lived up to that. I'm loving them too.
So, coming to SUNY Delhi, obviously, you had a lot of the right intentions and the right ends to make it work here to enroll at SUNY Delhi. You were, I'm sure, aware of the NCAA transition. Did it ever occur to you that over the course of your career, you could be part of the building of the program while it's been already established for a long, long time to really usher it into the NCAA era and then think to yourself, I could be the first national qualifier or our team could be the first national qualifier?
Um, Looking back on it, I mean, I knew I personally wanted to make it. I didn't know how close I was. I thought I probably had a 50-50 shot. Um, but yeah, it's definitely something I had in my mind all season that I wanted to do, that I thought was possible. All summer I was thinking maybe we could get the whole team to go, and that would have been great. We make it, but just I mean, the whole team supported me. I couldn't have done it without them. So yeah, I know a lot of people worked really hard to get us to be NCAA, and there was even a lot of waiting once we were to be able to compete at regionals and nationals now. So there was a lot of build up to this, and I know a lot of people are really excited about us finally being able to participate in the nationals championships.
Now, of course, you being the first NCAA national qualifier in school history, that's just the latest in a long line of titles that you've racked up here at SUNY Delhi. You're obviously the president of the SAAC committee. You received the SUNY Chancellor's Award for Student Excellence. And I do know that you also have a job that you balance out. So how do you find that kind of time management and that harmonious balance to continue to excel and thrive in what you're doing?
Yeah, that was actually the talk I was talking about earlier that Coach Monroe would give at that summer camp was about time management. And it's about his big thing was like, you're not busy, however busy you think you are. And of course, there are a few times I think I got pretty busy, but time management, it's really just about planning ahead. For SAAC, we have regular meetings. So in between meetings, just making sure I'm spacing things out. Same for schoolwork, trying to plan ahead so that I'm not doing everything on a couple days of the week and then just hanging out on the weekends. You got to space it out. And once you space it out, it's not too bad. And I still manage to find time for practice every day. So yeah, that works out. Yeah.
So now, when you do have some free time, what are some things that you enjoy doing?
Reading a lot. I'm currently reading Cryptonomicon by Neil Stephenson. Um, Also computer programming a little bit. I set up a website over the summer. We got a couple side projects going on here. Yeah, and a lot of cookings. My girlfriend's a culinary major, so I cook a lot with her. Or she does the cooking, I clean up.
Just a few more questions, Seth. What moving forward? What does the next 5 years look like for you from a career standpoint? And do you think running will always be part of your adult life post graduation?
Yeah, so in the next few years, obviously, this is my last year at Delhi. Next year, I'm going to be doing the internship, which I'll technically be able to compete. We'll see if I will, but after my internship, I'll be done. So whoever I got my internship with, I'm hoping to work for a while. I'm visiting a couple companies next week to see where I might want to go for that, whether or not I'm going to be in the area. And then maybe grad school a little bit later on. That's something I have in my mind, but running is definitely going to be a part of my life, whatever happens after this. At some point in my life, I'm probably going to have to run a marathon, even if I don't really want to, but it's on my bucket list. So yeah, I can definitely see it being a part of my life, my whole life.
So now let's talk about the build-up or the preparation for this week. Obviously, you'll be going out there tomorrow. You'll be out there with Coach Brown and Rob Monroe will also be there. So from the time that you met the mark at regionals, what was the mentality going into your workouts for this week and prepping for this week? And do you have an idea of the course, or or do you think that that'll be better analyzed when you actually get out there?
Yeah, so we're actually, as far as workouts go, the work's done. I've been working out since the summer. This week, honestly, it's been better just to not tire myself out and let myself rest a little bit because I'm still in shape, and the best thing I can do is just make sure I feel good on race day. As far as the course goes, I saw a map, but I don't know what the course is like in terms of footing or if there are any hills. But we're going to be out there. Usually for meets like this, you might get there the day before and see the course then. But we're going to get there 2 days before. So I'll have more time to think about it then. Honestly, at a race like this, everyone's going to be going so hard and so fast. You're not going to think about the course. So honestly, I'm probably trying to not have a strategy a little bit and just go from the gun, run hard in the middle, and then run hard at the end. Yeah, it's worked for me so far, and that's what I'm going to do now.
Okay, great. Well, that's all the questions we had for you today, Seth. So thank you so much for joining us amidst your busy schedule and prepping for this big accomplishment at SUNY Delhi. The campus and community couldn't be any more proud than we are right now of you. And we just wish you all the best and just cut it loose at nationals.
Thank you so much, Dan.
Okay, thank you, Seth.